In the United States, in Daytona Beach, Florida, one of the most highly anticipated events of the year is taking place: a cheerleading competition. Far from the objectifying stereotype of a girl with pom-poms, the participants here are athletes. Launched into the air by these muscular men, they perform acrobatic feats.
In the US culture, people think cheerleading represents like, oh, we're going to cheer on this team with pom-poms, but what we're doing here is a lot bigger than that, and not a lot of people do that.
Each year, over 8,000 cheerleaders and their bases venture from all over the United States, hoping to compete and return with a trophy.
Always say we're gonna stop. Whoa, it's Friday night.
They are all students. They are among the best teams in the country. And the contest is broadcast live on television.
They're obviously very pretty, that's a fact, right? But they're much more than that, like I said. I mean, it takes a lot of skill and talent to do what they do.
Once again this year, more than 20,000 fans have travelled to witness their favourite teams accomplish daredevil stunts.
Amazing how they perform. Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's cool how they
Among their idols are their favourite athletes in the championship, but also cheerleading social media stars, like this former coach and his 6-year-old daughter.
And him and his daughter are pretty famous because they are crazy stunters. So, sorry, I gotta get this.
The father began posting videos with his daughter during the COVID-19 pandemic. Jaden was only 4 years old, but performed impressive stunts. They instantly went viral, with some videos attracting up to 45 million views. A huge success for Dad Roland, who decided to make it his career.
You can do as much money as you want. You can do as much money as you want. Like if you have a lot of followers, you can make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year just off of posting videos online.
And how much do you make, guys?
In an undisclosed amount, but I will say that it's a good amount.
At Daytona Beach, there is no money at stake. The students compete for their university's reputation, and for this, they push themselves to the limit. The competition begins in a few days. It promises to be a spectacular event. From basketball to American football, in the United States, there's no game without cheerleaders. The country has over 4 million cheerleaders. Every weekend, they entertain their fellow Americans with their choreography. Their job is to warm up the spectators.
Come on, Tori! Go!
A symbol of student culture, the discipline is practiced in most universities. Many American celebrities were cheerleaders when they were younger, including stars like singer Madonna or actress Cameron Diaz. Over 100 years old, the discipline has greatly evolved. Nowadays, it is more than just a pre-match show. It has become a sport in its own right, with competitions like that of Daytona Beach in Florida.
Let's claim it and do it. Let's go.
The Oklahoma cheerleaders and their star, Cameron, will fight to the bitter end to win a title.
Oh, we are in hitting today. Hitting mentality.
Cheerleading is also for young members of the middle class, paving the only way to gain admittance into prestigious universities. In a country where education is very expensive, the best cheerleaders are awarded scholarships. 16-year-old Gigi, a college student, is hoping to be recruited by a team in order to gain free admission to higher education.
I mean, it's worth it because she's very smart and very talented, so she's going to get a nice scholarship.
Cheerleading inspires young girls across the world, but a darker reality lies behind the tinsel. In recent years, the sport has been at the centre of sexual abuse scandals. There have been dozens of cases across the country.
We started working and doing private lessons with him, and that's when everything started with the sexual abuse.
In light of these transgressions, football and basketball clubs have made some radical changes. Some have completely traded their cheerleaders' over-sexualized outfits for tracksuits.
If people are looking at, like, we're dancing and not necessarily just our bodies.
From climbing the social ladder to acrobatic performances, we have followed these cheerleaders all over the United States to unveil the hidden face of this American dream undergoing a transformation. It's 10 a.m. in Coconut Grove, an upscale neighborhood in South Miami. Carolina, a cheerleader, is sprucing herself up before an American football game. The 19-year-old business student has been involved in the sport since primary school. Her appearance is mandated by her coach. She spends more than an hour and a half in front of the mirror for each sporting event.
We have a specific way that they want us to do our hair and do our makeup for game days. And so that's what we need to do to go to the games. Do our hair like this and do our makeup a specific way that they showed us that we had to do it. That's an important part of cheerleading, no matter where you cheer. It's definitely a big part. We want to look pretty.
Sophisticated makeup, ringlets, and a miniskirt. A revealing and frequently criticized outfit, it's the classic cheerleader stereotype. But Carolina doesn't mind. She even passed on her passion to her two younger sisters.
What time's the game today?
7:30, 8.
8? They need to win, huh?
Yes, they do.
Very proud of her for being a cheerleader and all the efforts that it takes her. They all cheer, so it gets really interesting to try to correlate the 3 calendars. It just becomes part of your family life.
Georgia.
Here, wearing the uniform is their pride and passion. Even Alex, her father, does not see it as a form of sexism, but rather a discipline where you learn to challenge yourself.
There's always that percentage of people that feel, that, because they're beautiful or they're wearing something that's short, that they're an object. But I think society has changed throughout the years. That stigma has sort of gotten away from it. Bye, Mom.
Bye, guys.
I'll see you later.
They are heading to the city's main stadium for the Miami versus Pittsburgh American football match. The program includes a mascot, a live band, and of course Carolina and her teammates' show. There are around 30 of them. Tonight, they will perform in front of 40,000 spectators.
Fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
Fantastic.
Why?
Because they get us hyped up and ready to play.
Kids, man.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful, gorgeous and talented, and they have beautiful costumes, outfits.
In Miami, they are real celebrities. Their fans scramble to take photos with them.
Thank you, ladies. The pom-pom, I think the pom-pom enlightens all the people, right? When it's pumping, we pump.
Because I want to grow up being a cheerleader. Because I'm so beautiful.
They look up to us, and that's like one of my favorite parts about doing this, because I was that little girl at a point in time, so I just think that's like so cool and fun.
As the stadium's warm-up acts, the cheerleaders are expected to rouse the crowd and create a great atmosphere.
Our role as a cheerleader during the game is to spirit, to cheer on our team, to do stunts and timeouts, and to really just be there for our team.
Sexy dancing, somersaults. Though it may look simple, Carolina and her teammates' choreography actually requires hundreds of hours of work. And they bring an essential, world-famous accessory into play.
Our pom-poms, it's more like just a freestyle. We do whatever we want with it, really, when we're spiriting, when we get excited, when we're cheering. We use our pom-poms to really get creative with our cheers and stuff like that.
The pom-pom was invented towards the end of the 19th century, when cheerleading first began, in order to grab the audience's attention. Originally, it was students that encouraged their sports teams before matches. Amazingly, there were only men at the time. During the 1950s, the sport became feminized. The NFL, the famous American Football League, created the first professional cheerleading squads. Little by little, the outfits got shorter. But since the Me Too movement, criticisms are being raised against these sexist dress codes, and the sport is witnessing a volte-face. This is exactly what's happening in Cleveland, Ohio, in the north of the United States. This morning, professional cheerleader Sammy is getting ready for a game. She works for the basketball league, the famous NBA. She earns €70 for every match. But this year, she has traded her miniskirt for something a little less sexy.
So we have our crop top with a C, the gold C, here, and then it's just like a long sleeve. And then just with a pair of sweatpant joggers.
The change is radical. This is the outfit Sammy wore a few years ago. Though she didn't really mind it at the time, she now feels comfortable in her new uniform.
It would be, you know, like a little skirt, a little top, and then pom-poms. It was very flattering. I loved it. It was very cute. But it definitely makes me more confident if people are looking at, like, we're dancing and not necessarily just our bodies, you know? And I feel like that would be for anybody, just because it can be very freaky or just like intimidating if people are just looking at you because like you're showing your whole stomach or like you're showing more of your chest or something like that.
The match starts in 3 hours. Sammy heads to the city's stadium. There, she meets her colleague Vernal, one of the 2 dancers on her team. In another development to put an end to everyday sexism, their coach hired men. It's still a novel concept in the United States, but more and more squads are following suit.
It's been awesome having a team where it's both girls and guys, so I definitely think it makes our team stronger, and I love how the Cavs want to make it more inclusive and more diverse. So yeah, he's great. He's awesome, very talented.
10 years ago, I believe it was just all-girl dance team, you know. Times have changed and males are, you know, added to the mix, and I think it's just a great for equality purposes.
This afternoon, the 2 cheerleaders will perform in front of 20,000 spectators, many of whom are men, and not all of them are convinced by this new cheerleading format.
It's better this way. It's more family friendly, and it's, I don't know, it's not as sleazy. It's nice.
Thought they had beautiful bodies, that they worked hard to keep that way, and why not show it off?
You miss the mini skirts?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Though some may not like it, this stadium seems to have turned the page once and for all. Sammy and her 15 teammates make their entrance onto the field to warm up the crowd before the arrival of the basketball players. Gone are the days of wiggling hips and lustful gazes. It's out with the pom-poms and in with the tracksuits and hip-hop style choreography. Since 2018, nearly a quarter of the NBA cheerleading teams have followed this trend in light of the Me Too movement. In the United States, it's not just the outfits that have changed. In the last 20 years, the discipline has become a sport in its own right. On the one hand, there are the famous cheerleaders shaking pom-poms, On the other are teams that offer a much more acrobatic performance. Some universities have made it their speciality. In the heart of conservative America, we are heading to Bethany, Oklahoma, a small city located on the legendary Route 66. There are many churches, but here the true religion is cheerleading. The city is well known in the region for its cheerleading team and their spectacular performances.
It's gonna be nasty.
3 times a week, students meet up at the campus gym for training. And it always starts with a ritual.
Make the circle big.
Ready, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Dear
God, thank you for today. Thank you for this team. Thank you for the ability to practice today. God, I ask that you would just protect our minds, our bodies, and our attitudes. We love you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
The team is made up of 10 boys and 10 girls. The star of the group is Cameron, a 25-year-old student who is studying to become a physiotherapist.
John! I just want to tell you, I watched the videos, and I just watched you the whole time. You're just amazing. Like, actually, I'm not kidding.
Thank you. I love you.
7, 8, 1, 2, 3.
Muscular and extremely agile, Cameron specializes in acrobatics. Propelled into the air by her teammate Kobe, a base, her role is known as a flyer.
Kobe, how high do you think you go in that basket?
Probably like a good 30 feet, I feel like.
30, 35 feet, yeah.
At the minimum, like.
You trust those guys?
Yes. All of these guys, I do trust. Girls, too. It's all of them. I know, I love them so much. Because I'm like, this is my life. This is really my life.
Cameron and her teammates train all year round for the prestigious competition that takes place annually in Daytona, Florida. Like in figure skating competitions, they will be judged on a short 2 minutes and 15 seconds routine. The move that they are struggling with most is this pyramid. For a few seconds, bases like Dustin, the team captain, must have at least 2 teammates on his shoulders, more than 100 kilos to support.
3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5.
Hey, Small, I need you to decide as a team what you need right now.
Just a few days before the competition, Coach Kylie does not beat around the bush, because in order to win, they will have to nail these stunts.
Daytona's everything. It's everything. There's no other competition that we do. This is it. This is the American dream, basically, cheerleader's dream.
Cameron intends to win a trophy there. For her, it would be a poignant moment in her life. Born in Africa, in Zimbabwe, she is the epitome of the American dream. Her parents fled the political instability of their country to give her a better life. Cheerleading has always been a safe haven for her, as well as a coping mechanism.
It's definitely something that has pulled me out of a lot of dark times, too. Like, I would go to practice and be able to just go 100% and full out and forget about the bad day that I just had, or me getting a bad grade on a test, or just escaping all drama. It just is a really, really good feeling to be able to escape from that. Woohoo!
Every week, she goes to the gym, where her mother works, for stretching sessions with her teammate, Kobe.
Hey!
How are you?
Good.
Good to see
You too. How's it been? So...
Mina is a former marathon runner, now retrained as a sports coach. She passed on her passion for sport to Cameron. Every week, she takes a long time relieving her daughter's muscle tension.
Yes.
Can you put this?
This hurts.
Cameron is regarded as the best cheerleader in Oklahoma. a proud moment for her mother, who had to fight to make a place for herself in this country.
It's mind-blowing. It's so impressive. But again, I'm not surprised because everything that she's done, she's always been very successful. So, and the nice thing is that she doesn't have a big ego. She doesn't let it get to her head. She's very humble still, which makes me proud. She's a good girl.
It makes me happy that I'm making my parents proud because the way that they see things, like I just want to be the best I can be for them because I really look up to both of them and they work so hard. And even though it hasn't been easy, I wouldn't have it any other way.
For many middle-class American teens, like Cameron, being a cheerleader is more than just a passion. It's also the only way to gain admittance to a major university.
Thank you, Mama.
In the USA, university is not free, and on average costs €50,000 a year. But the cheerleaders can receive scholarships, and so for them, everything is free. So, in order to be selected, some young women take up this sport from an early age. In the northeast of the country, in Connecticut, one teenager is working round the clock in the hope of making it happen.
Hi, how are you?
16-year-old Gigi is a college student with a very busy schedule. In addition to 30 hours of lessons at college, she spends 20 hours a week working at this fast food restaurant.
Marcos, give them the French toast one.
This work allows her to earn €400 pocket money per month, but most importantly, enough to pay for cheerleading lessons.
I feel like this is my normal. Like, I don't know really how to rest or like relax, so it's just always something I've done. They think I'm crazy for even having like a job or anything on top of cheerleading and school, but I fit it in.
Cheerleading is her gateway to attending university. If she can reach a good level, the student hopes to be then recruited by a prestigious university. She's therefore working tirelessly.
Okay, so we're done.
Her dream is to attend Baylor University, which costs €70,000 a year.
Welcome, everyone, to Baylor University.
A huge university of 20,000 students in Texas. Not only does it have a reputation for academic excellence, it boasts state-of-the-art sports halls, games rooms, and all kinds of restaurants. Known for its courses in medicine, science, and art, it is one of the best universities in the country. Gigi would like to study there to become a physiotherapist. Her whole family is behind her on this venture, especially her mother.
G, did you put on the Waze to check when we'll be there?
It says 5:40.
Yeah.
Erica devotes all her time to her daughter. 3 times a week, this stay-at-home mother drives her to cheer practice.
Well, this is my job. Like I can't work because I drive her here. Like, there's no way this is 40 hours a week for me. This is what it is, but this is what we signed up for, and this is what her dream is, so I just do it.
Gigi attends a private club, a 3-hour drive from her house. It's a long way, but it's one of the best in the country, so the young teen didn't think twice about it.
I just really wanted to be in an environment where there were athletes better than me and would push me to work harder, and the coaching to push me to work harder. So it was really just achieving my goals, and it's just something I've gotten used to over the past 5 years.
Homework and a nap later, the young woman finally arrives at the gym in Freehold, New Jersey. Founded in 1994, its club, the World Cup All-Stars, has close to 500 members, aged between 3 and 18.
It's going to be a good day. Let's go, you guys.
Made up of 100% female members, it has an impressive track record. Dozens of trophies won at local and even international competitions, in which all the private clubs compete. Membership costs €3,000 per year. It's not cheap, But for Gigi, it's a sort of preparatory class ahead of university. And it's a guarantee of attaining a good level in a short space of time.
Where did we say the head goes, Kaylee Dell?
Push your shoulders up. Here we go, front row. And front.
To turn these teenage girls into champions,
Okay, listen up.
the club employs a powerful weapon.
Stop. Just listen to Bucky and Jacob. Ready? Shut your mouths and hit it.
Joelle, a coach who runs a tight ship.
Go here. Go here. Go there. Go there. Face that way. Face that wall. Girls, move off the floor. Off the floor? All right, listen, you look like you're fumbling a football. That's it. You're just like this.
You have to be tough.
Yes. Oh, my God. Well, you got to make them accountable. If I don't tell them what they're doing wrong, who's going to tell them? This isn't like to sugarcoat nothing. I'm always tough. You haven't seen me in action yet.
After 3 hours of intense effort and hard work, Gigi is exhausted, but still gives it her all. Her coach doesn't really need to encourage her, because like all her cheerleading friends, she dreams of attending an Ivy League university. And it's this sheer determination that makes them successful.
And front. Front, six, seven.
The schools want them because of the dedication that they have. They know they have the commitment level. That's half the battle. It's not the talent. They're all talented. It's their determination, their will to work, and their respect. You got to have the whole package.
9 p.m. It's time for Gigi to return home.
That sounds so crazy, but I'm so used to it now. It's normal to me. It's like my new normal.
The price to achieve your dream?
Yeah, it's worth it. It's crazy, but it's definitely worth it.
On training days, Gigi leaves the house at 7 a.m. and doesn't come home until midnight. This fast-paced life is not the only sacrifice the family have had to make. Cheerleading is also a financial strain. In addition to club membership, petrol and toll charges, Erica has to pay for the trips to competitions. There are about 10 each year, all over the country.
I usually add in $1,000 for each competition. So for which it should be $500 for the hotel, $500 for the flights without spending money.
By the end, the bill is steep.
22, 23, probably $30,000 a year. Probably more, $30,000 to $35,000 a year we spend on cheer. But everything costs a lot of money these days, so it's worth it because she's very smart and very talented, so she's gonna get a nice.
If Gigi receives this scholarship, her parents' efforts will pay off. They will save 5 years' worth of tuition fees, totaling almost 200,000 euros.
Yeah, tell Jojo to come down.
Joseph.
A godsend for them, because they have already borrowed just under 300,000 euros for the education of their elder children who did not get scholarships.
Well, I go to school right now, and I know I'm going to have to be paying student loans back for a while, but to have a full ride to a school, a very good school nonetheless, and then being top gymnastic program in the country is crazy.
Anthony, the father, keeps his fingers crossed that Gigi will succeed because he has already made many sacrifices to support his family. On top of his occupation as an electrician, he has taken on a second job.
I work a full-time job. Then I also work overtime, so sometimes I'm working 50 hours a week just in my regular job. Then I coach basketball. I also do training in basketball, one-on-one privates as well as group training. So there's probably weeks where I do 75 to 80 hours a week in working. Depending, I don't think I've had a regular day off in 7 days, where you have 1 day off in probably a couple years.
For this middle-class family, the year ahead will be decisive. If Gigi manages to get accepted into an Ivy League university, all their hard work will be rewarded. 2,500 kilometers away in Oklahoma, Cameron followed the same route as Gigi and was fortunate enough to have been selected. Her university funds her physiotherapy studies, which cost just over 20,000 euros per year.
Oh, these strips of bacon now.
But to keep her scholarship, the cheerleader must do more than just practice and performances. She must also demonstrate exemplary conduct.
No partying, no drinking, no smoking, no nicotine, anything. Kylie will always find out. I don't know how she does. She's an agent. She won't even be around, and she'll just know. She'll just know everything, somehow.
She'll text us and be like, why were you with so-and-so? We're like, how do you
Yes,
know that?
we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
But
So-
I swear, she is one of those people that truly has eyes everywhere.
The young woman and her friends know that the slightest indiscretion could lead to expulsion.
Girl, the gravy's so good.
So here, everyone keeps to themselves and works hard to achieve good results. Especially Dustin, the captain of Cameron's team. The cheerleader must have a minimum 11 grade average across the year in all subjects. Otherwise, he risks having this dream taken away from him.
Well, if you fail, then you can't compete. Like, if last year, if I would have failed classes, then I wouldn't be able to compete this semester. So, I mean, that's just kind of like a big punishment.
Nor can Dustin or his teammates be absent without a valid reason. The president of the university does not mess around. Last year, 4 athletes were kicked out of the team. To withstand this pressure, students in this Protestant university turn to God. At the heart of all their prayers is the big competition that takes place every year at the end of the season in Dayton, Florida.
I've been praying for Daytona since the beginning of the semester. I always pray about it. I always just want to be calm, and I want all the hard work that I put in this year to just pay off.
Each competition victory allows the university to improve their ratings and therefore draw the best students and professors in the country. So the university provides itself with the ways to win. In a few days' time, Cameron and her 19 teammates will fly to Florida's Daytona Beach for a week-long stay, all expenses paid. At the other end of the country, college student Gigi is not so lucky. When she competes in a championship against other private clubs, everything is at the expense of her parents. To help families financially, every year her club organizes a fundraiser. Tonight it's being held at the country club in Farmingdale, a very upmarket part of New Jersey, 100 kilometers from New York.
Do you really have to wait in this line?
Over 400 participants are expected. On the schedule for the evening, a dinner, but also a raffle and a fashion show. At the reception, team coach Joelle allocates the entrance tickets.
You're at table 15. Take one of these, put it in there. We're hoping to raise $30,000 for the Shooting Stars. Travel for national competitions into the World Championship.
Nearby, Gigi's mother, Erica, is in charge of selling the raffle tickets. Hundreds of prizes are up for grabs throughout the evening.
Okay, so it's $20, and then you write your name on the date that you want. It's getting crazy in here. Like, it's gonna be a party. It is, it is.
Gigi has invited her whole family to the event. As in previous years, her grandparents have turned up to support her.
I came to say hi.
They would not miss this event for the world.
You said you were my scrub.
because we love her. We're proud of her. Why? Why? Because she's devoted. She's been like doing this since she's 3 years old, and I've been following her the whole time. And she's going to get her dream. Going to get her dream.
It means a lot just because I'm never really with my family. We're always out traveling, commuting back and forth to practices. I miss a lot of family events, sometimes birthdays, like my grandma's birthdays, my great-grandparents' birthdays. So it's really important to have them here supporting this because this is a big deal for my team.
The room is full of the athletes' family members, but also former members of the club. Every year, they meet up here for old times' sake.
I miss it every day. I still have dreams that I'm behind the stage in the hole waiting to compete with these girls. And there's so many things that aren't necessarily taught on the floor, but you realize that those practices, and when you lose and you have to come back on the floor, practice and rise to the top, like those are things that carry with you throughout life.
And we all look exactly the same.
It's 8 p.m. Time for the raffle.
09876.
Prizes include gift baskets, as well as some handsome sums of money.
How much is in there?
$1,475.
Dress rehearsals are taking place behind the scenes before the highlight of the evening, the fashion show.
We're about to walk on the runway. Yes, so much fun.
The girls have switched their cheerleading outfits for designer dresses.
Hello. The belt is so great.
Outfits that are worth up to $10,000 apiece.
And you have shorts.
I love it. It's so pretty, and I love the color golds. My prom dress for my actual prom is gold, so.
Okay. It goes by in 30 seconds, so just make sure you smile. Stop begins, chest out, shoulders back, heads up.
In front of an overexcited audience, the teenage girls take to the catwalk like supermodels. Gigi's fan club has front row seats. For her parents, it's a moment of joy and relaxation between the pressure of competitions.
Rewarding for me as a parent because I see the confidence that she has. And that's one big thing with cheerleading that I've seen being here for 5 years, is that the confidence level that these women have is great. It's great.
The club's aim has been achieved. The event has raised €30,000, money that will be used to pay part of the costs incurred by the competitors. Gigi and her team attend about 10 each year. A week from now, they have a meeting in Ohio, 800 kilometers away. In this huge complex, hundreds of young girls aged 4 to 18 will compete across 2 days. Gigi and her friends are going to uphold the reputation of their club. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The girls are getting ready in their hotel room.
The humidity is like whoosh. She's been throwing up since like 7:30.
But they're off to a rough start. Their coach has called to deliver some bad news.
Kennedy? Kennedy just threw up. Guys, Kennedy threw up. Maybe there's a stomach bug.
In total, 6 cheerleaders are feeling sick. But Gigi and her friends have seen this happen before.
I feel like when we're on the stage performing, your adrenaline gets to you and you don't even remember. Like, I've been injured competing, and I go and I perform, and I'm not injured. Like, I'm just not injured anymore.
Smiling the whole time. It might sound bad, but we're trained to push through any single thing.
With the girls feeling sick already, the worst is yet to come. Their routine lasts 2.5 minutes. They will be judged on the quality of their choreography and the accuracy of their moves. Backstage, Joelle is more pessimistic. 2 stars of the team keep throwing up. They won't be able to perform.
Let us go twice tomorrow. The only thing is, she can't even stand up. Did you see her? Listen, you know us. We push them all.
Right.
I mean, we could push her, but she's not pushable. I could tell when they're pushable. She ain't pushable. And the other one's puking over the garbage can. No, thank you.
Their only option is to replace the unwell girls with two less experienced substitutes.
What's the risk of changing last minute like this?
Injury. Someone getting hit, hurt. Stuff is danger. It's, you know, you train these kids for months, and then you throw someone in 5 minutes. See if this kid could do it. It's just gonna be off. Whoa. See? Do you see what happens? It looks easy. It ain't easy. None of this is easy.
It's showtime. Before going on stage, the coach gives the girls one last push.
There is 1,000 people out there to watch you. They don't give a shit if your stomach hurts or if you have a fever. You're doing this for your fans. 2.5 minutes of your life for the fans out there. Do you hear me? Yes. They don't care if you're sick, girls. They care about the shooting stars holding on a legacy. Okay? You got 2.5 minutes of your life to sacrifice for the cheer community. You got me? Come on. Good luck, guys. You got it.
On the front row, Gigi's mother, Erica, cheers on the girls. Joelle and her assistant wait with bated breath. They dread even the slightest mistake. And in the end, it's a faultless performance. Backstage, nausea kicks back in. The girls are exhausted, but proud of themselves.
They were beautiful. They did their job. Even this one, my sick one. Right, baby? Yeah. Champions. Champions.
I think with what we went through today, we really pulled it through. And I think we did an amazing job. I mean, the crowd was amazing, so it really feeds off to us.
Level 6 senior law.
Despite the girls' ill health, the audience and the judges did not notice a thing.
Champion World Cup shooting star.
The team finished first in their category.
Athletes, thank you guys so much for coming. Keep working hard and we'll see you next year.
Back in their hotel room, Gigi and her friends celebrate their victory on social media. At just 16 years old, they are already stars. They are followed by hundreds of thousands of fans.
The most views I got was 4.5 million views. We post TikToks in our uniforms. A lot of times they go viral because a lot of the little cheerleaders are on TikTok and they'll like comment on our posts and say good luck today, and it's just really fun.
A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. You guys are my idol. Like, what team are you on? Or like what time do you guys go on? Like, I love you guys so much.
It's a good thing. It promotes cheerleading in general.
The cheerleaders don't just receive compliments on the internet. They are also victims of harassment.
There's like perverts that like comment and they're like, it's really creepy and it's kind of weird. Or, like you get DMs of like, oh, do you want money or something like that, and you just have to ignore it, but it's really, really weird.
Cheerleading is one of the most popular sports in the United States, but in recent years it has been struck by numerous scandals. Cases of sexual abuse regularly make front-page news. A few months ago, a coach from Florida hit the headlines after a video of his arrest was released.
Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, over here. Go ahead and here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
The man is accused of sexually assaulting young girls between the ages of 12 and 15 years old. On that day, the police were interested in his mobile phone.
Honest with you. One of the directives we got was to collect your phone. I'm allowed to let you open it. If the detective can show to a judge that they have probable cause that there is evidence on your phone of a crime, then they can petition that judge for a search warrant, okay?
The inspectors go on to find pornographic photos of his students, all of whom are underage. The coach is sentenced to life imprisonment. In the cheerleading industry, very few victims dare to publicly denounce their abusers for fear of being kicked out of the team. In Dallas, Texas, 23-year-old twins have broken the silence following another case of abuse.
There you go. Very pretty.
While still in college, Jessica and her sister Hannah were victims of groping several times. They have decided to speak up and even become coaches in order to protect the young girls in their neighborhood.
5, 6, 7, 8, 3. That was pretty. Very pretty. Good. Good on the arch. Coaching, we do use it to heal and cope with everything that did happen to us because we make sure to provide such a safe, loving environment for our kids because that's something we were missing when we were kids. And we kind of do use it to change the sport in a good way. Like what happened with us, I'm going to make sure none of that ever happens to my kids.
The abuse took place close to home, in this gym in the suburbs of Dallas. At the time, the two cheerleaders were 15 years old. They are among the best in the country, and it's still to this day their greatest pride. They treasure their collection of medals.
2016? Yeah, 2016. This was 2016 World Champ medals. This was the only time we've ever won Worlds. It is the best feeling in the world to go out and hit the best routine possible, and just the amount of work that goes into it. Like, it's so rewarding.
In those years, their club was constantly churning out champions. But to win, coaches can use extreme, borderline abusive methods. In these videos, you can see the twins at full steam.
Come on, Hannah! A lot of conditioning, a lot of yelling, a lot of threats, and puke buckets everywhere for the kids. Just because the conditioning was so rough and just they would overwork your body so much to the point your body would start giving out, and it was just insane.
In this ultra-competitive environment, there was one man that these two little girls could count on. Their coach, Jason McCartney.
He appeared very charming. Yes, very charming, very nice. He told us that if we did private lessons with him, he would put us on a really high-level team. So I'm like, we're not going to say no to that. So we started working and doing private lessons with him, and that's when everything started with the sexual abuse.
In turn, the girls found themselves alone with him. The man then had free rein. Traumatized, the two sisters didn't even talk to each other about it.
It started off things like that were smaller, or he'd fix your sports bra, like, oh, your shorts are too low, let me pull them up a little, or just think, and I'm like, oh, my outfit's just weird, I just didn't. It's like when you're a kid too and you trust an adult, you don't put that together, you just think it's normal. Like if your coach is tickling you, you just think they're trying to be funny, you don't think it's sexual abuse. Just things like that, like, and then it got worse and weirder as time went on, and then it started to become more scary rather than funny.
In the photos from that time, the twins are all smiles. But in reality, they were living a nightmare that lasted 2 years. They asked to change clubs. Their parents agreed without really understanding why. It was only at the age of 21 that they told them everything, and finally confided in each other. They decided to hire a lawyer specialized in sexual abuse cases.
Hello. Hi. How are y'all?
Good.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see y'all too.
The twins don't just blame their coach. They accuse those in charge of the federation of having willfully turned a blind eye. They hope to claim more than 10 million euros in damages.
We did report to them and it was ignored, and that was hard on us to report it, and finally that was the first thing we really tried to do with all this, and it was just completely ignored and nothing happened with it. And
it strikes me that when a young athlete even communicates any level of inappropriateness, that immediate action and a zero tolerance policy for that isn't taken, especially as it relates to children who are athletes. I think what happened to Hannah and Jessica absolutely could have been prevented. and I have very little doubt was seen by adults who owned that facility, and they just chose to look the other way or not act.
Following their testimony, the club finally fired the coach.
Thank you for
3 other
everything.
women also pressed charges against him.
Thank you.
The first win for Jessica and Hannah, who are now awaiting the trial. More than 1,500 kilometers away, after a 10-hour journey, Oklahoma students Cameron and Dustin have finally reached Daytona Beach in Florida for the most important annual competition. They are worn out, but have just one thing on their mind.
Victory. Yes. Actually, it is just that one time that we can finally just put our routine on the mat since we don't compete anywhere else. So it's just the time to just show out, honestly, show everyone what we've been working this whole season for, because we've been working hard.
During this 5-day event, the team will stay in one of the city's finest hotels. Like them, 8,000 athletes are preparing for the University Cheerleading Championship. It's the most important day of the year for the cheerleaders. At Daytona, the very best in the field and the 20,000 fans coming to see them are united in one place. A blessing for local businesses. Hotels, bars and restaurants are all full to the brim.
4, okay. It'll be about an hour, hour and a half right now.
I'm sorry about that. This is the busiest week of the whole year for us. So, like I said, we usually make around like $7,000 to $8,000 a day. But on a day like today, we'll make almost $20,000 in a day, which is more than half of what we're projected to make, which is very, very good for me and Daytona Beach. It's very busy.
In total, it generates €4 million of economic benefits to the city. The day of the competition has arrived. For Cameron and Dustin's team, a whole year of hard work and sacrifice is going to unfold within a few minutes.
Let's claim it and do it. Let's go.
But we aren't hitting today. Hitting mentality.
With just a few seconds until they go on stage, their smiles have disappeared. The pressure is on. One final battle cry. Before facing the 5,000 spectators and some 20 judges. The first stunts are successful. They know that even the slightest misstep will lead to instant failure. The final move is the pyramid that has been causing them trouble all year. It is perfectly executed. Coach Kylie is bursting with joy. The verdict is delivered a few minutes later. Cameron and her team have clinched the university champion title in their category.
I just feel so good. I just finally feel like breathe again. A lot. It was a lot. So I'm just really, really happy.
Thanks to their victory, their small university in Oklahoma will enjoy plenty of media coverage. At the end of this year, Cameron and her teammates are not the only ones to have triumphed. College student Gigi has also achieved her goal. She was eventually admitted into the prestigious University of Texas.